everyone, welcome back to another video. We're picking up where we left off with the main scenario here back in part 1 of 5.5. So we're here on Law, and the next quest is for vengeance. The restrainment node stands poised to lend a hand, figuratively speaking. Bloop, guiding user to terminal. This way, please. Okay, great. Now we just have to find the terminal and we can release Tiamat. I gotta say, I wasn't really sure I knew what to expect from this little adventure to free Tiamat. I just knew we were going to be freeing her at some point, and I guess I kind of expected that we were going to be freeing her here. And where the heck am I going? Yeah, I hate all these different levels here. I can never tell where I'm supposed to go. Anyway, I was kind of expecting that we were going to be freeing her here, but yeah, I wasn't really sure how that would go. But I'm guessing it's actually kind of pretty close what I was expecting for the most part anyway. I can't wait to see what the rest of the quest is going to be about though. And why can I not find my way? Where am I supposed to go? Okay, so it's down here. But where here? In here? Okay. When in doubt, just go to the crowds of people. Don't look at me. This is a task for you and Alphino. Not very tech savvy, are you, mate? This terminal appears to be similar to the one we encountered when we first set foot here. Let us hope it will be equally helpful. Bloop. Access granted to user Claire Faye and her adolescent Ellison companion. Master Faye's other companion is deemed a potential risk to safe operations and has been denied access privilege until further notice. Well, you can't really blame it. Because I wouldn't feel safe with a Stinian here either. Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? Why, software version 52.002, of course. Bleep bloop. Warning, errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years, 1 day. I don't think we can wait that long. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Are there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? Bloop. The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much, as long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies. I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain, just tell me if we've made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via Link Pro once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured I will be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over. Strange that they're bringing that up. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allagan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Asians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Asians touched turned to ash, and thus you have made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Van Daniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? That is a good question. Because he seems a little bit too crazy. Yeah, I really want to know what he's all about. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I want to swipe that smug smile right off his face. But, yeah, I really want to know why he's doing this. It has to be more than the fact that he's just crazy. But did he not tell you that he was beyond reason? he wishes to die, I say we oblige him. Well, I won't say no to that. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think it unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. It has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited, and there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphinaud has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. That is a good point. That was all a very, very good point. Blip bloop. Warning. Releasing dragon restraints may result in specimen loss, damage to facilities, and incineration of staff. Cannot deny the logic in Estinian's argument, given all that is at stake. Even the slightest lapse in judgment could be the undoing of us all. Yeah, so we're going to have to be careful. And as for the node's warnings, I really don't think we need to worry too much about it. Tiamat does not seem like the type who would die that easily, and there's not really any staff here unless you count us, so. But yeah, I mean, now that he brought it up, I really am curious to know more about Fandaniel. I remember Yoshi P saying that there is a lot more to Fandaniel when he talked about him during the showcase. Apparently, Fandaniel is supposed to be a much more complicated person than we first are led to believe, and apparently he's hiding like some kind of major secret. So I can't wait to see what he has planned. Oh, I bet it's going to feel really good once we get all that stuff off her. Where is everybody? I can't tell if they're here or not. Well, there's Raha, so the spirit vessel proved useful after all. Excellent. Yeah, more useful than you know. Okay. Estinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphinaud's absence that he's needed elsewhere? Well, that sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effect of the tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to deter to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphinaud to disengage the restraint's ethereal dampeners. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Ah, such warmth. The frost that shrouded my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war and of Ben of Alec. Wherefore to such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Claire, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Oh, wow. I really don't think there's be much of a difference. So tell me of Bahamut and the Asians. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Were that the peace we found in Mericidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not to be. The Asians saw to that. In all creation I know of none more wicked. It was their behest that the men of Allah first came unto Mericidia, onto our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mericidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlian scholar Ruru Shah. She posits that men first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind, and as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see the end of the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end. For the men of Alex slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Asians. The rest thou knowest only too well. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Asians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Well, that's cheerful. Ugh, thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear when this is over. Keep going, Alize. The magic is working. Yeah, I don't think she likes Estinian. Slowly but surely, the magic is working, aided no doubt by the memories you bade her share. Well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy. No patient could have prepared me for treating a giant worm. We're close, I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Graha's, this will work. And I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go. Yeah, I really don't feel like we're doing too much here. I almost feel like we're a spectator again.
No. I'm almost there.
There we go. Thank you. We're finally allowed to help.
This is it, Angelo.
It's working. It's working. Come on. I can't wait to see it.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed. Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
Slosk an all fall kail an. Slosk seth som in an. Afatan. Mon ud. One an. Lis a an. Do ud an.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
She's in an and me.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Oh, wow. Oh, I never realized how much she looks like Nidhogg.
Bahamut an ul jas, ul asa, vesk an.
Oh, I bet that feels really good to her.
By the gods!
Oh yeah, I don't think she's seen a great dragon.
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan.
Of course. Of course.
He flies for the largest amount of settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Of course he's going there with Tiamat. Darn it, I wish Wade could have ridden on her back too. But that was great! Oh, that was just fantastic! A little bit fast, but hey. She's free and look! We just got the empty platform. I'll be fine. Plenty of time to recover on the airship. Well, I'm sure you desperate to join Astidian and Tiamat in battle. It would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less. Okay, so it looks like that's gonna be over for now. Why not? We'll take that. Hey, the Flames of War! It looks like we're going into the dungeon! With Lunar Bahamut bound for Pagothan, Grahatia is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow Scions. I've already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Udal at the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphino and be on our way. I love it! Oh, I don't know, I'm just so satisfied when I look at that empty platform. I'm a little bit sad that she's not going to be here anymore, but at the same time I'm really happy she's not going to be here anymore. But yeah, moving back on to the dungeon. So the dungeon is definitely coming up next. Oh, I cannot wait. I can't wait to see how it goes. Because I know that we're going to be riding dragons throughout it, at least parts of it. We're going to be fighting all sorts of, I guess, tempered Imperials and everything. I wonder if this is also going to be the place where we come across those other, like, I guess, lunar primals. We definitely saw Odin and Ravana during the trailer, so I wonder if this is where it's going to happen. Okay, that was fast. So here we are in the Hall of Flames. If you're worried about me, don't be. I got some rest during the flight, and now I feel ready for anything. By happy coincidence, Kryl and I were in the process of concluding our inquiries when news reached us of Lunar Bahamut's return. There is much to discuss, but it will have to wait. Wonder what you guys were talking about. First the spate of abductions, and now an attack on the Amaja homeland. What do the Tolafaroi aim to achieve with all of this? I'm sure you recall, Ardenwald and Flodola were bound for Pagothan. I pray they have not come to any harm. Of the foe we face, we know but little. Though time be of the essence, we must not stint in our preparation. Lest our haste to fly to the aid of the Amaja costs us our best chance of victory. Now I know that some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say that the Tolafaroi have other plans. Pagothan is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Tarpin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I wasn't certain how the Sultanate would respond. 'Tis good to hear that Udal has not abandoned the Amaja. Abandoned them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Oh, hello! Your Grace. Marshal Tarpin has made provisions for such an exigency and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of intervention. Nor is Udal alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Pagothan. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to lunar Bahamut, none of the Amaja show any signs of tempering. Strange. What primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primals are not wont to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Claire and the others like her wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe, whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare rather better, assuming that is, you are ready to take to the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I, for one, am inclined to do as her grace requests. Lest we forget, Ardenvald and Flodola are in Pagothan on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed. To the airship, then. You know, I like to see Nanamo really stepping up here. Like before, she was really kind of took a back seat to Raubon and everything else, but here she actually seems like she's stepping up and being the Sultana. So good for her. But I'm surprised to hear that this lunar Bahamut isn't able to temper anyone. I mean, why is that? Just what the heck is going on here? Oh well. I'm sure we'll find out later. Okay, so this is definitely going to be taking us into the next dungeon. So Tiamat and Estinian are probably already there fighting as we speak. Because we do see them, like, in the trailer, like, helping out to fight their way through it. That's going to be so cool. So here we are, the Airship Landing. Is everyone waiting? Looks like it. So the Talavaroi have constructed buildings capable of tempering, and primals which are not. What secrets are they hiding? That's a good question, too. Given what we know, some, or perhaps even all, of the Imperial soldiers may have been tempered. If we can subdue them, we should be able to do something about that. But they would still see us as enemies even then. That said, they wouldn't be deaf to reason, which is better than nothing. Do you think Estinian and Tiamat have already reached Pagothan? Ah, but I should know better than to speculate on the whereabouts of the Azure Dragoon. Forgive me. It is not impossible that the Talavaroi redirected some of the troops stationed at the tower to the front line. If so, this may all turn out to have been to Arnvald and Fodola's benefit. Least thou wonder, I have attended to Thancred's ammunition, and completed mine own preparations. I trust thou canst say the same of thine. Try as I might, I cannot fathom why the Talavaroi would move to attack the Amaja. If Van Daniel's objective is death and destruction, one of the city-states would surely have been a better target. No, they have some other agenda, one encompassing the recent abductions, perhaps. Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm predicting that they're going to be holding off on attacking the city-states until the final days start to come. Yay! Pagothan now accessible! Okay, so since we're going to be going in through the trust system, it may take a while to get through all of it. Regular dungeon runs with the trust system take at least half an hour, so I think we'll save that for the next video. But first, I know not what designs the Telothroi have on Pagothan, but I do know they must be stopped, for the good of the Amaja and us all. By dealing with Lunar Bahamut and his horde, so too will we render aid to Ardenwald and Philodola. Come, let us go. Whether he's here or not, we can be sure Van Daniel is behind this attack, and that makes me doubly determined to see that it fails. Like most who spent time in Udal, I haven't always seen eye to eye with the Almaja, but today I fight side by side with them in common cause, and hope that none of them remember me. Oh, who can forget you, Thancred? The grasslands of Pagothan will make for an open battlefield. Many though our enemy are, we will not have to fight against the terrain, at least. I wouldn't bet on that. At the cost of his own life did Master Louis Sois strike down the primal Bahamut. Whatever the true nature of this new incarnation, it cannot be suffered to threaten this star. Okay. Well, in that case, let's see who we're going to go with. Alize's probably still tired from before, so... And... yeah, why not? We'll use just Stola. Okay. Alright, so we're about to head straight off into Pagothan, but again, I'm going to leave that for the next video, which is going to be my first run-through and playthrough and all of that wonderful stuff. So, I cannot wait to see how this all unfolds.